guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to this channel, hello, I'm Kutloano Headbush. I just want to make a shout out to all my day ones, people who share, like. I really appreciate all the support, guys. For those of you who have not subscribed yet, please scroll down and hit the red button and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you can get notifications about my next videos, and like and share, guys. Please get the word out there that your girl is out here. Thank you to everyone who got me to 100 subscribers. Next up is 1K, so we just need a multiply by 10, you know. Everybody tell one of their friends or 10 of their friends would be preferable to subscribe to my channel. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright guys, so this video is all about me and what it's like to live with a movement disorder called dystonia. I am 21 years old right now, and I have had dystonia for 9 years, coming on to 10 now. I was diagnosed in primary school. Just a little bit of background. So what is dystonia? Dystonia is a neurological disorder that affects the brain, and it affects your movements, and it has different types of symptoms like spasms. Yeah, it's basically just spasms, but they vary. They can be short and quick, or like just one long spasm that like keeps your body part in one position. So I have DYT1, which is general dystonia, and it can affect all parts of the body. So for me, it started in my left leg. I had a tumor when I was, I don't know, 11 or 12 or something. It was benign, and then when it was taken out after the surgery and everything, I was diagnosed with dystonia. It affected my leg and my ankle, and then it moved on to affect my right leg and my ankle, like my foot, and then it affected my right hand, and then it's affecting my left hand now, and you know, it can go on to different places. At a certain age, I think it's 24, it plateaus, so it doesn't get any worse. But dystonia affects everyone differently. So I'm doing this video because I feel like there's not a lot of information about dystonia. I never even knew that there were people in South Africa who had the disorder, because it's genetic and the gene is European, you know. So because I have that genetic makeup, like I have some European ancestors or whatever, I have the gene. And actually all of my siblings have the gene, but it's not predominant enough to be showing physically, you know. It didn't manifest physically for them, but because of me and different kinds of factors, it did. I want to do this video to show that even black people can have dystonia, because I was looking and I didn't see no black representation out there for people who have dystonia. And you know, guys, listen, I love being black, and I love being part of the black community, but sometimes in my experience, it's like we brush things off easily, like just go to sleep, you know, just sleep it off, things like that. And because dystonia is not visible, it's not completely visible, it's easy for someone to think that you're lying about going through something like that. Because it's also not consistent. Like right now, I'm moving, I'm walking, I'm talking, and then 2 minutes into my walk, I'm struggling because dystonia is kicking in, and as I use my muscles, the worse it gets. Sometimes I have good days, sometimes I have bad days. It all varies. I think one of the worst parts of my body that it could affect would be like my vocal cords, like the muscles around there, because then I would struggle to speak, and I'm glad I don't have spasms in my face, because then speaking is important, obviously, to me. So that would be very frustrating. So you know, looking at the positives. So dystonia has no cure, only treatments and a surgery, which I'll get to later in the video. For example, I did Botox at one point. I know, Botox, but no, Botox is a muscle relaxer. I had Botox in my legs to try and sort out the spasms, but for me it didn't work. And then I tried Epilim, which was also not really effective, and then I went on to do Tegretol, and I had been on Tegretol. I was on Tegretol for years. The thing with Tegretol is it's a serious drug. With dystonia, because there's no cure, only treatments, it's kind of like you're a guinea pig, which sucks a lot. Like, you'll try something, get off it, try something, get off it. I mean, it puts your body through a lot. Side effects are really the worst. I was on Tegretol, but my dosage changed because I was taking the drug and changing dosage to help affect the progressing dystonia. I ended up being hospitalized for a few days twice, and that was really sucky. One time in grade 7, and the other time was I don't remember now, grade 9 or 10 or something like that. That is actually a story time, the second time, because it was actually funny, but only in retrospect. Only in retrospect it was funny, but like, oh, and the first time, because I was like, blah, y'all. No, that's a story time. Let me know down in the comments if you want to learn about that story time. It's funny now, guys, so it's okay. You can laugh, it's okay. How it has affected my life. The worst part, I think, of dystonia for me is the limited places on me physically. It makes things difficult to do the things I love, because I'm an active person. I mean, I was dancing since I don't know what age, some young age, and acrobatics was a big part of my life, especially during high school and early varsity. And I love exercising, guys. I'm trying to be, you see that? I mean, you can see a line a bit, yeah, like, guys, yeah, up there, look at that. Okay, you can't see it now, but check out my Instagram page if you want to see Kutloano _HDBH, just putting it out there. Physically, the way it's affected me is not great when people think you're lying, because dystonia is not like something overtly visible. For example, when I'm walking and I've got a rhythm going, you know, my dystonia is not bad because I'm keeping to this rhythm. I can't speed up or slow down. And when I'm walking with people, are like, oh, slow down, speed up. It's like a small thing, but then it's like, no. And then when we get to the place, they're like, oh, we can't walk with you because whatever. And I'm like, why are you in your feelings, bruh? Like, I say this inside though, because I don't like complaining. But inside, I'm like, why are you in your feelings, bruh? If you only knew I had a pace, a rhythm, I was on a roll. I wasn't gonna let you stop me only for me to pause and then start walking again, and for me to struggle. Like, that would suck. If I've got a rhythm going, don't bother me. Don't bother me, I am on a roll. Another way it's affected me is writing. I had to learn how to write with my left hand in grade 11. Because my right hand just wasn't cooperating anymore. That was sucky because I had terrible handwriting. And let me tell you guys, my handwriting with my right hand popped, but now it pops with my left hand. But unfortunately, it's gotten to the point where I can't really write anymore. I have to type, because I can write maybe for 2 minutes and then things just go left. That is left. There's other smaller ways that it's affected me, like psychologically and emotionally, especially. Things are just harder to do, and you don't really feel how hard it is until you sit down and you're like, oh my gosh, that was actually a really hard walk. Like, wow, that was hard. But I have tried throughout my life to make my own accommodations instead of asking other people to make accommodations. Like, I've always wanted to be in sports. I got into acrobatics because you're not on your feet all the time. I couldn't write with my right hand, so I started writing with my left hand. Like, small things like that throughout my life. But it's getting to the point where however, I don't let it stop me from doing what I love. Guys, I am so blessed because I have a beautiful family and a group of friends who have been keeping me strong. The best thing that the people in my life did for me is that they didn't victimize me. This might sound weird, but they didn't make it a big deal. Do you know what I mean? They weren't like always on me, babying me. Especially because it's almost like I grew up with dystonia, especially during high school. It wasn't like, are you sure you can do this? Whatever. It was just assumed that I can do it because I'm strong enough. My strength was assumed, therefore it was manifested into my reality. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, when I tell my neurologist that I'm doing this and this and this, sometimes they come to me surprised. They're like, why? How? Oh my goodness. And it's like, for me, it's like, well, what do you mean? Obviously I'm gonna keep doing what I love. I'm still exercising, still doing acrobatics, still walking every single day. I don't want it to define me, and it never has, so it never will. Lucky for me, I have a surgery coming up, a brain surgery, to try and sort things out. If you guys would like me to vlog that, Let me know if you want to know more about dystonia. Let me know. I want to let everyone who has dystonia out there that you're not the only one. And if you're a black person, you're not the only black person with dystonia. We are out here. I'm out here. So if you want to chat, let me know. I think I would have loved to see more stories about young people with dystonia, because a lot of the things that I was getting was experiences from older people, and I still haven't seen someone who is black who has spoken about having dystonia. It seemed like it's just a white person thing, which it isn't. So yeah, that's it. That's all. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.